Rostov-on-Don is a port city and the administrative center of Rostov Oblast and the southern federal district of Russia. It lies to the southeast of the East European Plain on the Don River, 32 kilometers from the Sea of Azov.The. The southwestern suburbs of the city abut the Don River delta. Population 1,089,261, 1,068,267, 1,019,305. History. Establishment to the early 20th century. From ancient times, the area around the mouth of the Don River has held cultural and commercial importance. Ancient indigenous inhabitants included the Scythian, Sarmat, and Savarma tribes. It was the site of Tanna, an ancient Greek colony. Fort Tanna, under the Genoese, and Fort Azak in the time of the Ottoman Empire. In 1749, a custom house was established on the Temenik River, a tributary of the Don, by edict of Empress Elizabeth, the daughter of Peter the Great, in order to control trade with Turkey. It was co-located with a fortress named for Dmitry of Rostov, a metropolitan bishop of the old northern town of Rostov the Great. Azov, a town closer to the Sea of Azov on the Don, gradually lost its commercial importance in the region to the new fortress. In 1756, the Russian Commercial and Trading Company of Constantinople was founded at the merchants' settlement on the high bank of the Don. Towards the end of the 18th century, with the incorporation of previously Ottoman Black Sea territories into the Russian Empire, the settlement lost much of its militarily strategic importance as a frontier post. In 1796, the settlement was chartered, and in 1797, it became the seat of Rostov.galis within Novorossiysk Governorate. In 1806, it was officially renamed Rostov-on-Don. During the 19th century, due to its river connections with Russia's interior, Rostov developed into a major trade center and communications hub. A railway connection with Kharkiv was completed in 1870, with further links following in 1871 to Voronezh and in 1875 to Vladikavkaz. Concurrent with improvements in communications, heavy industry developed. Coal from the Donets basin and iron ore from Krivoy Rog supported the establishment of an iron foundry in 1846. In 1859, the production of pumps and steam boilers began. Industrial growth was accompanied by a rapid increase in population, with 119,500 residents registered in Rostov by the end of the 19th century, along with approximately 140 industrial businesses. The harbor was one of the largest trade hubs in southern Russia, especially for the export of wheat, timber, and iron ore. In 1779, Rostov-on-Don became associated with the settlement of Armenian refugees from the Crimea at Nikishevan-on-Don. The two settlements were separated by a field of wheat. In 1928, the two towns were merged. The former town border lies beneath the Teatralnaya Square of central Rostov-on-Don. By 1928, following the incorporation of the hitherto neighboring city of Nikishevan-on-Don, Rostov had become the third largest city in Russia. In the early 20th century, epidemics of cholera during the summer months were not uncommon. 20th century, during the Russian Civil War, the Whites and the Reds contested Rostov-on-Don, then the most heavily industrialized city of South Russia. By 1928, the regional government had moved from the old Cossack capital of Novokakazk to Rostov-on-Don. In the Soviet years, the Bolsheviks demolished two of Rostov-on-Don's principal landmarks, St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral and St. George Cathedral. During World War II, German forces occupied Rostov Rostov-on-Don at first for 7 days from November 21, 1941 after attacks by the German 1st Panzer Army in the Battle of Rostov, and then for 7 months from July 24, 1942 to February 14, 1943. The town was of strategic importance as a railway junction and a river port accessing the Caucasus, a region rich in oil and minerals. It took 10 years to restore the city from the damage during World War II. 27,000 Jews and Soviet civilians were massacred by the German military on August 11 and 12, 1942 in Rostov-on-Don on a site called Zimyevskaya Balka. Administrative and municipal status. Within the framework of administrative divisions, it is incorporated as Rostov-on-Don Urban Okrug, an administrative unit with the status equal to that of the districts. As a municipal division, this administrative unit also has urban okrug status. City districts. Rostov-on-Don is divided into 8 city districts. Demographics. The 2010 census recorded the population of Rostov-on-Don at 1,089,261, making it the 10th most populous city in Russia. Climate. Albert Parry, born in 1901 in Rostov-on-Don, wrote of the summers of his childhood. There were sultry days of brassy sun, but also cool evenings on the balconies facing the Don River, with the soft glow of charcoal in the samovar, with the ripe cherries crushed by your spoon against the bottom and sides of your glass of scalding tea. Rostov-on-Don lies in a humid continental climate. The winter is moderately cold, with an average February temperature of -3.1 degrees Celsius. The lowest recorded temperature of -31.9 degrees Celsius occurred in January 1940. The summers are warm and sunny. July temperatures average +23.3 degrees Celsius. The city's highest recorded temperature of +40.1 degrees Celsius was reported on the 1st of August 2010. The mean annual precipitation is 643 millimeters. The average wind speed is 2.7 meters per second, and the average air humidity is 72%. Symbols. In December 1996, Rostov-on-Don adopted a coat of arms, a flag and a mayoral decoration as the symbols of the town. The first coat of arms of Rostov-on-Don was designed in 1811 and approved by the Tsar. In 1904, some changes were made. One lasting oil painting of the coat of arms is kept in the Regional Local History Museum, but its accuracy and authenticity is uncertain. In June 1996, the Rostov-on-Don City Duma adopted a variant of the coat of arms in which a tower represents the St. Dmitry Rostovsky fortress. The ancient Russian arms reference the role Rostov played in the defense of Russia's borders. The coat of arms adorns the mayor's decoration, but all other cases of its use are first considered for approval by the City Duma. Flag. The flag of Rostov-on-Don was approved by the Duma on September 20, 1864. At the end of the 19th and beginning of the 20th centuries, the Home Guard regiments, which defended the southern borders of Russia, were raised under this flag. The flag of Rostov is kept in the town's municipal building under glass. Its length is 1,370 millimeters and width 850 millimeters. The flag is taken out of the building only on Victory Day and Rostov-on-Don Day by a guard of honor. In 1870, an oval-shaped mayoral decoration wrought from precious or semi-precious white metal was introduced. On the front is written Rostov-on-Don. At the top, the Rostov-on-Don coat of arms is in the center and the inscription, Mayor of the City, is written at the bottom. On its reverse side, the day of its adoption, April 9, 1996, is recorded. The decoration is worn over the suit on a large chain. The mayor returns the decoration to the Duma on his retirement from office. The emblem of the Don host Oblast was introduced in July 5, 1878. The flag of the All-Great Don Army was introduced in May 1918 on the Circle of the Don Saving Awards. December 1970, Order of Lenin. 1982, Order of the Great Patriotic War. 2008, City of Military Glory status. Economy overview. Rostov's favorable geographical position at trading crossroads promotes economic development. The Don River is a major shipping lane connecting southwestern Russia with the north. Rostov-on-Don is a trading port for Russian, Italian, Greek and Turkish merchants selling, for example, wool, wheat and oil. It is also an important river port for passengers. The Rostov-on-Don agricultural region produces 1/3 of Russia's vegetable oil from sunflowers. Volga-Don Canal. With the construction of the Volga-Don shipping canal in 1952, Rostov-on-Don became a port of 5 seas: the Black Sea, the Sea of Azov.The, the Caspian Sea, the White Sea, and the Baltic Sea. Modern industry. In modern times, Rostov-on-Don has experienced economic growth. Numerous start-up companies have established headquarters in the city. The median income is increasing, and the city is being transformed into a modern, industrial and technology-rich hub. For instance, Rostov-on-Don is a center for helicopter and farm machinery manufacturing. The T-Boden Engineering Company opened its 4th office in Rostov-on-Don in June 2010. Transportation. Rostov-on-Don is a major transport center. Some refer to it as the gateway to the Caucasus. Public transport in Rostov-on-Don includes buses, trolleybuses, trams, and marshrutkas. The Rostov Metro is under development. The Rostov-on-Don airport caters for domestic travel, as well as flights to and from the former CIS, Europe, Africa and Asia. Its IATA code is ROV. Donavia Airlines has its head office in Rostov-on-Don. The Bataysk military aerodrome northwest of the city center may be developed into a new airport hub for southern Russia. The International River Port specializes in the packaging and freighting of minerals and timber. Shipping information is published online. The main railway stations in Rostov-on-Don are Rostov Glavny and Rostov Prigorodny. The St. Petersburg-Rostov Caucasus Railway crosses the territory of Rostov-on-Don. The North Caucasus Railway offices are in Rostov-on-Don. Several highways of federal and regional significance cross Rostov. The M4 Don route passes Rostov to the east and crosses the Don River in the Aksay city area. The Rostov-Novoshaktinsk starts from the northern housing block area of the city, running north to connect with the M4 Don route between Shakti and Novoshaktinsk. The Greater Rostov Supercity. The Ministry of Regional Development of Russia has prepared a program to create 8 multi-million conglomerate population centers or supercities. The Rostov Oblast will be one of these. The Greater Rostov metropolitan area will include the cities of Rostov-on-Don, Novokakazk, Taganrog, Aksay, Bataysk and Azov.The. Communications. In 1929, the first automatic telephone exchange in Russia with a capacity of 6,000 numbers commenced in Rostov-on-Don. Since 2004, standard telephone numbers in Rostov-on-Don have been 7 digits in length. Since 2009, city numbers have begun with 2. The city dialing code is 863. Education. Rostov-on-Don hosts higher educational establishments, including universities, academies, secondary schools of vocational training including colleges, technical schools, specialized schools, and elementary schools of vocational training including lyceums, professional colleges and schools of general education. The largest educational establishments of the city include: there is also a French cultural center, a British Council and German Goethe Institute, and a Korean cultural center, Culture. The most conspicuous architectural feature of the central part of the city is the Cathedral of Virgin's Nativity, designed by Konstantin Thon. Libraries: Rostov-on-Don's libraries include the Don State Public Library, Central Library named after Maxim Gorky, Regional Children's Library named after V.M. Velechkina, Rostov Regional Special Library for the Blind, Scientific Library of the Medical University, Central State Children's Library named after Lenin, Children's Library named after A.S. Pushkin, Children's Library named after Mayakovsky, South Russian Don State Public Library. Theaters. In the Academic Drama Theater named after Maxim Gorky works Mikhail Bushnov, who is the national artist of the USSR and an honorary citizen of Rostov-on-Don. Maxim Gorky Academic Drama Theater, Rostov State Puppet Theater, Rostov Regional Academic Theater of the Youth, Rostov Musical Theater, Philharmonic Center, Theater 18+. Kim Nazaretov Jazz Center. Museums. The small collections of the Art Gallery and the Museum of Arts include some works by Repin, Skorikov, Perov, Levitin, Ivazovsky, as well as of modern Rostov artists. Museum of Local Law. Rostov Regional Museum of Fine Arts, Museum of Fine Arts on Dmitrovskaya, Museum of Russian and Armenian Friendship, Pioneer and Railway Museum and Children's Railway. Other facilities. Other facilities include 7 stadiums, a palace of sports, a circus, a zoo, botanical gardens and parks. Rostov-on-Don hosts the North Caucasian Science Center and Research Institutes. The city is also home to a Starbucks coffee chain, a true rarity in this geographical area of Russia. Religion. The administration of Rostov and Novokaukask Eparchy of the Russian Orthodox Church is located in Rostov. Other religious facilities in Rostov-on-Don of the Roman Catholic Church of the Lord's Supper, the Old Believers Temple, a synagogue, a mosque, and the Diamond Way Buddhist Center of the Karma-Kagyu tradition. There are also several Armenian and Greek Orthodox churches in the city, with one of the Armenian churches being the oldest standing building in Rostov. All of the Armenian churches are in the Nakhichevan-on-Don district of the city. Mass media. The construction of the Rostov TV Center began in 1956 and was completed on the 26th of April 1958. The first television program was broadcast on the 30th of April, 1958. Color television was first broadcast in 1974. Radio transmission began in Rostov-on-Don on October 17, 1975. In 2009, there were 14 FM radio stations in Rostov-on-Don. Sports. Rostov-on-Don is one of the host cities for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. A huge development is planned on the left bank of the Don River, which includes a soccer stadium to host the games during the championship. The Rostov-on-Don women's handball team plays in the Russian Handball Championship. The men's team is known as the TIBL Group. Notable people. Notable people include Olga Spasovzeva, ballet dancer, Alexander Suvorov, military commander, Yelena Prodanova, artistic gymnast, Yulia Belokobelskaya, artistic gymnast, Andrei Chikatilo, serial killer, and Alexander Pekursky, a leader of the rebellion at the Sobibor extermination camp, and Miria Karenkova, artistic gymnast. Writers and poets. Authors of Rostov-on-Don include Anton Chekhov, Mikhail Sholokhov, Zakrotkin, Fadeyev, Safronov, Kalinin, Alexander Pushkin, Maxim Gorky, Sergei Yesenin, Shushanik Kurguinian, Alexei Nikolaevich Tolstoy, and Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Zhanov and Mikhail Nalbandian. After visiting Rostov in 1831, Pushkin published his poem, The Don. The monument to Pushkin on Pushkin Boulevard is dedicated to these events. Maxim Gorky worked as a docker in Rostov-on-Don in his youth. Vera Panova was a Soviet-era writer. Modern era includes such names as Daniel Korysky and Tony Vygotsky. A monument to Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who lived in the city for 18 years and studied mathematics at Rostov University, is being planned by city authorities. Musicians, composers and singers. Musicians from Rostov-on-Don include Efrem Zimbalist, the violinist, Zaslavsky, Kim Nazaretov, Modest Mussorgsky, the pop music singer Irina Allegrova, Yuri Bashmet, Sergei Vladimirovich Rodionov, Eva Rivast, Mikhail Puntov, the post-punk rock band Motorama and the rap band Castor. Actors, directors and playwrights. Actors and playwrights of Rostov-on-Don include Maretskaya, Mikhail Shkepkin, Yevgeny Uglashenko, Alexander Idamovsky, Evgeny Shvarts, Nikolai Sorokin, Konstantin Lavronenko, winner of the Best Actor award at the 2007 Cannes Film Festival, and Sergei Zhiganov. Marian Gering, noted for his stage and film productions in the United States, was born in the city. Architects and artists. Architects and artists of the city include Yevgeny Vushej, Seren Katlamargin, Ashot Melkonian, Natalia Juretskaya, Martyros Sayin, Roman Chatov, Leonid Berg, Leverberg. Scientists and adventurers. Scientists and explorers include Dr. Zen, Bogoraz and S. Fedosov. Scientists Dmitry Mendeleev, A.S. Popov, L. P. Pavlov, George Sedov, the Arctic Sea explorer Yakov Frankel, a solid-state physicist Sviatoslav Fyodorov, ophthalmologist Sabina Spielrin, psychoanalyst. Other Vladimir Shumiko, political figure. Svetlana Boyko, foil fencer. Anatoly Morozov, professional association football player and coach. Alexei Eremenko, Russian-born Finnish professional association football player who currently plays in Kazakhstan. Victoria Lopireva, model and popular television hostess. Tatiana Kotova, beauty pageant title holder. Andrei Chikatilo, serial killer. Ivan Bukavshin, chess grandmaster. Tourist sites and excursions. Twin towns and sister cities. Rostov-on-Don is twinned with Gallery. Rostov-on-Don Picture Gallery.